Hi, hello, and welcome to a new episode of Release. I'm your host, Adriana, and I am so honored and grateful that you've taken the time to listen to what I have to say. And today, I wanted to say Happy New Year, my loves. I hope that this year brings you so much love and beautiful experiences and peace, because you are so worthy of all of those things and more. I also wanted to say that I know that I have been gone for quite some time, but a lot has been happening. I wrote a book of poetry, which is so exciting. So I've been working on publishing that and doing a few things regarding that. I have also been trying to give myself a little bit of space, because the nature of what I create, whether it be a podcast or poetry, any kind of thing that I am putting out into the world, I want it to be as authentic and as me as it can be. And although I love to be able to put out regular episodes, sometimes it is a lot for me to constantly be pushing out content that I feel that is really needed. Sometimes what we need is rest. Sometimes what we need is a break. Sometimes what we need is silence. And although having a schedule is amazing, and when I feel as though the topics are right and the topics are potent and ready to be given, then I will keep up with my schedule 1,000%. I will be bringing out bonus episodes. I'll be doing it all. But in that last part of 2023, I was really feeling the need to sit in stillness and to listen. And every time I take a little break, I come back on here and I say, Spirit said I needed to take a break because I was working myself to the bone and I need to learn about not letting myself burn out. And I do it every single year. Multiple times a year, I watch myself fall into this pit of burnout because I feel like, oh, well, I said that I'm going to put episodes out every 2 weeks and there are people waiting, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, the nature of this podcast, it's not about the frequency. It's about the need for what I'm putting out. It's about the potency. It's about the necessity of whatever I am putting out. And everything that I talk about on here, I want to always authentically and wholeheartedly talk about it. And if 2 weeks comes by and I feel like it's not time, or I feel like the divine hasn't given me something to talk about, or they haven't highlighted something in my life that I need to express, or if there hasn't been something that I have been called to talk about, then I don't have to. It's the same when I think about posting on TikTok. TikTok is one of those platforms where people post like literally 1 billion times a day. And I find myself being like, oh, I have to post this amount of videos a day. And if I post one, it's not enough, blah, blah, blah. But even that, I have to recognize, like, even if I post 0 videos a day, there's no crime in it. There's no crime in it. It's my art and I create it how I want to create it. There is literally not a single artist that I can think of off the top of my head that creates and shares art, proper art that they really and truly love and have taken time to create every single day. Every single day. Unless I'm thinking of like maybe like a digital artist may do that, but somebody that creates a piece of, whether it be like a painting, a song, whatever it is, they truly take time to allow themselves to dive into that. And I'm trying to honor that artist spirit within me and allowing myself to take that break. And yeah, I'm allowing myself to be graceful towards me. So thank you for allowing me to do that. I love you all so much. And as we know, I am the queen of lists, and I started 2023 talking about the things that 2022 taught me. And I believe that was a list of 10. And of course, we shall start 2024 with that same vibe. I do only have 5 things on this list, but I feel like there are 5 things that really have allowed me to see things in a different way, and they're allowing me to see 2024 in a different light already, and the year has just started. So on this list, number 1 says, just because it takes time doesn't mean it won't ever happen. And this is something that I have had to really take into account, because we can take my book, for example. I have been writing and rewriting and creating a billion drafts and having a trillion ideas, and it just goes on and on and on. And there's a draft, and then there's a new idea, and then there's a new document open, and it was just going round and round and round. And I kept hearing, mostly just my mother, because she has watched me write since I was a kid. So she's always said like, oh, you should have a book out by now, blah, blah, blah. Parents are just going to be parents, whatever. But yeah, and that instills doubt in you. I know that sometimes parents can be so strange because they'll say things that are supposed to be encouraging, but it just makes you feel doubtful of your abilities. But that's another topic for another day. But yeah, just because it takes time doesn't mean it won't ever happen. Even in this process of getting to here, it has felt like a trillion years. And then I woke up one day and I found a way to self-publish my book, and I gave myself a weekend. And I said, by Sunday, I started on Friday, and I said, by Sunday, I'm going to submit this book and have this book published. That's what I'm going to do. And that wasn't something that was overwhelming or so amazing, because I already had everything. All I had to do was create a book cover. I had all of the poems. I had the structure of the book. All I had to do was start putting things together, and it came together so beautifully. So if something is taking time, do not allow yourself to get sad or discouraged because it's not happening in the timeline that you want, because we need to remember everything happens in divine time. And divine timing does not care about how badly you want something. It only cares about what is supposed to happen in that moment. And I was just supposed to have my book out at this point in my life, because I have written many, many, many versions of this book that I have put out. And I have watched my poetry evolve, and I have watched me really sort of decenter my sadness, because I was writing a lot of poetry about deep grief. It's very dark stuff. And it's not that I don't value the darkness in existence. It's just that wasn't all that I wanted to bring forth. I wanted to bring forth the light, and the light was sort of hidden very deep and very far down below the grief, and I sort of had to dig that out, and I had to do some work. But now we are here, and we have done it, and yeah, It's just a reminder that as long as you set your mind to it, even if it doesn't happen in the timeline that you've created, or the timeline that you thought is supposed to happen, or the timeline that other people have done it, doesn't mean it won't ever happen. All you have to do is stick to your plan. And number 2, the things you have to let go of may be the hardest to let go. Things meaning habits, things referring to situations, relationships, whatever it is. People may hold on to you because I've talked about this before, because they feed off of your light and they feed off of your love, and you may want so badly to be free because you feel them draining you. Them, again, being people, habits, etc., etc. Sorry for the sniffling. I am still recovering. But these things may grip onto you so tightly, and it doesn't matter how hard you try to let go. It doesn't matter how hard you try to push them away, they come back because you are their light source. You are their life source. And it's very hard to be that for someone and then having to also remind yourself that you are your own light and you are your own life source. And your responsibility is not anybody else but you. And if anybody, any habit, anything that you do, or any person that you come in contact with, if they make you feel drained, or they make you feel sad, or they make you feel like a burden, or they make you feel like you are holding so tightly to them, then it is time for you to really take some time to say, okay, why am I here? How does this benefit me? How does this benefit the other person? What are we getting out of it? What's going on? And when you start to really take some time to decipher what's going on, you'll recognize what needs to be let go of and what needs to stay. And obviously you're not going to just be able to do that in one day, but recognizing is the first step of moving towards the life and the things that you want to experience. And number 3, if you didn't learn the lesson the first time, it's coming back with a vengeance. Spirit does not play. And I have learned this the easy way, the hard way, the hardest of ways, all of the ways. And I am still learning that because I am very, very stubborn. And if Spirit teaches you a lesson the first time, and they're kind of soft on you the first time, they're teaching you, but they're kind of holding your hand so that you don't fall, because you didn't really recognize that was a lesson before. But now that you have learned, and now that you have recognized that was a lesson, and you go back into the fire and you go back and you expect to be saved, babe, I'm telling you, it's not that Spirit is cruel or that they're trying to teach you a lesson. It's that the second time it's going to hurt more because you've done it before. It's going to hurt more because you've been there before. It's going to hurt more because you had gotten out of it before. And it's going to feel like you're stuck and you're suffocating and you're choking, because this is something that you should be free from. And there are lessons that some of us have to learn 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. If you find yourself saying, why am I always here? Why am I always with this kind of person? Why am I always stuck in this kind of job? Why am I never satisfied? Things like that. Spirit is saying, hey babe, it's it's a lesson. Not only is it a lesson, but it's a cycle that we're calling your attention to so that you can break it. Because it's time for you to be free. And Spirit wants you to give yourself permission to be free. Period. That's it. You deserve to be free and happy. And until you give yourself permission, you will keep putting yourself in situations that do not align with your highest good. And number 4, mind over matter. You must always be disciplined to get to what you want. Sometimes your feelings will take over and you have to stop yourself. Mind over matter is a theme for this year. I've been feeling it. I want to get a mind over matter tattoo, but I have been feeling it a lot. If you listen to Frank Ocean, he says mind over matter is magic. Like, if you can train yourself, if you can train your mind to be stronger than your urges or to be stronger than the situation that you are in, you'll always walk out with your head held high. You'll always walk out having made the best decision. You will always walk out knowing that you have done the best for yourself. And it's not always going to be easy. Discipline is painful and stressful and all of those things. But again, you deserve to be free. And if you are stuck, always stuck trying to be something for someone else, or trying to say, oh, I have to fit into this spot for this person, or what if this person doesn't like it, or whatever the case may be, you'll find yourself struggling to even know who you are because you have become who other people are telling you that you are. And that has to end, because again, you deserve to be free. You deserve to be happy. And that begins with showing yourself the things that you deserve and moving in that light. And it may be hard. It will be hard. Sometimes it'll be like, fuck, I don't care. I just want to do this. But in reality, like we said, we are working towards freedom, and it may take a few tries to get back on that path towards your highest reality, but we are moving towards what makes us feel truly and fully fulfilled. And number 5, sometimes you may have to come back to things you thought you were over. Sometimes the things that you thought that you had already healed a year ago, 2 years ago, a month ago, come back. And they come back in a way that you were not expecting. First, that is a sign that, of course, it is not healed, but also it is coming back up because there's some other part of it to be healed. The way that I see not issue, but anything within your life that needs to be healed is that every single thing is made of puzzle pieces, right? And every puzzle, let's say that right now you are working on your connection to love and how you feel about love and being loved and receiving love and giving love. That may be a huge wound for you. And that puzzle may look like, okay, this piece is my relationship with my parents. And then this piece is my relationship with my siblings and the rest of my family, and my relationship with myself, my relationship with my partners, my relationship with my friends. And there are so many pieces that we cannot heal everything all at once, but there are many, many, many things that we go through that are much bigger than we even can see. And if it keeps coming up, we have to keep honoring it. We have to keep giving it space. We have to keep breathing life into it until one day we realize, oh my God, this thing no longer bothers me. Oh my gosh, this thing is something that I can say that I've really worked on. And yes, I still may struggle with this from time to time, but I'm much better. That is all that we can aim for in this life. I am much better than I was X amount of time ago. I am much better than I was before when I first started working on this, because it is all a process. And we are all trying to get to our best selves, but that in itself is a whole process. So we are pushing through day by day. That's all that we can do. But yeah, I love you guys so much. I'm excited to see what 2024 will have for release. What 2024 has in store for all of us. I am so grateful that you spent, oh my God, a whole year. Next month is going to be 2 years of release, which is wild to me. A year was crazy, but 2 years feels even crazier. Like, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. And I'm so honored, and I love you guys so, 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 so much. And I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye.